All right, guys, we just landed in Freeport, Bahamas. We got Linford, Paul, and Pyscho Skipper here.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It is steaming.
Just to bring you up to speed, on our last journey, unfortunately, Black Diamond was hit with some lightning. Boat's fine, everybody's good, except
Not fine.
well,
It's floating.
it's floating. The rigging, the hardware, it's all good.
Yeah.
But all the electronics, pretty much, from what we can see, are fried. So on this trip, we're taking the boat from Freeport, probably through Bimini to Miami, Florida for repairs. We're going to get all new electronics and everything. But in the meanwhile, we're going to be sailing blind. We're going to try to do this. Well, we're going to do it with no electronics, depth sounders, GPS, or anything.
Instrument free.
Instrument free.
And behind Hurricane Matthews.
If we get lost,
Michael.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
But apparently some guy named Columbus did the same thing like 500 years ago.
what's the hurricane that just went through Florida?
Michael.
It's Michael?
Michael.
What was the one we did 2
Matthew.
years ago? Oh, Matthew. Yeah. So Michael just went over us in Florida, and we're going to be heading out in its remnants. And what else?
We're going now to see if the boat's going to float.
Oh yeah, I was talking about electronics. So, yeah, if we get lost without it, we'll just pull over somewhere and ask for Black Diamond on the hard. It's been stored out here for the summer for hurricane season. We actually had the keel buried during the season. It's been pulled out now. We've bottom paint done. New bottom paint after 3 years. Seahawk product. And the side of the boat has all been polished, buffed, waxed. It's looking good. We're going to lift it up, put it in the water today, and just paint the bottom of the keel and get her ready to go.
Actually, it's pretty bad.
It's ripped off, you see that?
Yeah,
That's not recoverable.
Oh my goodness.
No, but that doesn't matter. I mean,
No?
well, I bought it 2 years ago, used. I knew it wasn't going to
Oh, I
last
see.
long. But we could probably put... Yeah, Eddie, I know it is what it is.
Well, we should inflate it and see
Alright,
if
we found that sad dinghy
we got it pumped up.
lying
Seems
here.
to be holding.
Yeah, amazingly.
All right, we're going to throw it in the water in a
Even
jiffy.
though it's
Okay.
losing its bumper. We'll see what happens.
We got the dinghy working.
Step one of many to
It's
go.
all inflated and working. You didn't think that would happen, did you?
19 things that have to go right, each with a 70% probability. You multiply it out, these are chances of making it.
So here's the marina. There we go. That Black Diamond was at. It's up over there behind me. It was stored for the winter. Just pulling it out. We're going to put it in the water this afternoon. And it's got a nice little hotel here that we're going to spend the night in tonight before we get on board. Nice pool, little pool here behind me. My hurricane hat. Just going to chill before we get out there. The boat's about to launch. Just doing some touch-up paints. And we're about to put it in the water. And charge up the batteries just to start the engine, but none of the electronics are working. So this is pretty much going to be a 10-year refit of Black Diamond with all new electronics, new nav lights, air conditioner, batteries, new mattress, new sails, and other little repairs such as replacement of the through hulls and all sorts of things. And after this gets all done in Miami, we're pretty much going to have a brand new boat.
Well, torrential rain, yeah, until about 10:30.
Nice.
And it's now 2:10.
Considering our original launch was 10:50.
Yeah, well, we realized pretty quickly we weren't going to make it because it was raining pretty hard and we couldn't get out in time. So we're now going tonight at 11 o'clock is the next flight.
High tide, 11 o'clock tonight. But we did make a lot of progress. As you can see, we got the full enclosure up.
Yeah, Jenny's up.
Jenny's up. Mainsail.
Little excitement on the mainsail is there's a profoundly long 15-inch tear vertically on the back of it, and there's also a tear at the front, so this sail's last job in life is to deliver us safely to Miami.
Yeah, boat's getting a complete refit, sounds like, in Miami.
Right, nothing parties like a boat.
Yeah, new sails, all new electronics.
We had a little ant infestation this morning, so there were about 10 million of those on the boat. Yeah. They were living in this little container right here, and they built a nest, which I didn't realize until I reached into it with my hand, and those things bite.
Yeah.
We also found that out yesterday when you guys one of you stepped on the ants, right, when we were moving the dinghy.
Captain
Yeah,
Ed.
oh, I got ant bites
himself
at the dinghy. And Linford, he was going to buy a boat, and he's after 24 hours here, he's
right.
Yeah, I actually apologized to Linford for inviting him down. I said, this is a lot of work. He said, no, you just saved me $200,000.
Had a lot of grief.
Lots of partying with that money.
That's right. We also dropped some stuff in the water, and young Linford dove in and got it, so he's earned a couple of medals right there.
Yeah, Linford's good crew.
Yeah, good crew. Yep.
Obviously.
Good seaman.
And I don't think I had this one before. This is Inagua. So Kalik is doing a thing where they have different labels for all the different islands. So Abaco, Cat Island, Inagua, Managua, Exuma,
Andros, they got it all.
And
Bimini, we call it Bimini.
I need to drink enough Kalik beer until I've gotten every label.
Can't believe we got all the work done in 24 hours and the boat ready for delivery to Miami.
Yeah. And dinner time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
So we're in an Irish bar in Freeport, because that's what you do when you go to Freeport. You go to an Irish bar.
But we're having local Bahamian. We're having grouper, conch, and tuna. Right?
Awesome. Tuna from Japan. What else we having?
No, the grouper and conch is local.
Resort. It's about 7:15. We got 3.5 hours to go until high tide. Eddie, if he shows you in a minute, we're planning out the route to get us safely to Miami. There you go. It's we're leaving here, we're going that way, trust me. This is what's known as the Last Supper. I know, you've heard that phrase before.
What's for supper?
What's for supper? Yeah, so we said to the lady we'd like to have either pork, chicken, shrimp, or ribs. How do you prepare those? And she goes, they're all deep fried. Which will be fine, except for, rotate to Linford.
Deep
He
fried.
doesn't like deep fried.
Deep fried on the island's gonna be jerk.
Yeah, it's gotta be jerky.
Let's go see what she's making. You cooking it up? Wow, that looks good. So here we are, we're pulling out of the marina, 11 o'clock at night. It's actually a little before high tide. And we're gonna navigate out this narrow channel just past the place we had dinner. And we gotta stick to the very right, about 5 feet from the shore, believe it or not, get enough depth to get out. And we can only get out on the highest tide. We're flying blind. We've got no electronics, power, or anything. We've got some battery powered emergency nav lights and things like that. And we're off. We're just heading out the channel, and we're like 5 feet from the rocks. Very narrow. We got to cut very tight. A little bit to the left. Yeah, you can see the rocks right there, and then it's deep right there. All right, looks like we're clear. There's the one green marker. And the last hurricane just moved all the rocks around here. And after this mark, we got to still keep going out a mile before we turn because of all the rocks.
AM, I should say. Early in the morning. We managed to make it out of the harbor, not without grounding and hopping off. Little tip there, we leave about half hour before high tide, so if we run aground, it gives us a little bit of extra time to hopefully float off it. Anyway, we got off it, and we're now on this course, west by southwest. We're going to go north of some rocks called the Eggs and Hens, I think, which is north of Bimini, and then from there we'll sort of dogleg down on a more southerly course, aiming below Miami to then have the Gulf Stream gently push us up. So imagine we're going to go down in a straight line, and it'll turn out to be a bit of a curve like this because this current will push us north. That's what we're doing. We got about another 7 hours of dark. We're just hunkering down. We've got shifts going. There's no automatic steering, of course, so we're manually steering the boat for the next 19 hours.
Yeah. So Paul's on the first shift at helming manually. Linford, you're next.
On back up here, this is a phenomenal evening to take this puppy for a ride. It's been exciting so far, a lot more than I expected. There's no better way to enjoy a night out on the boat. Unreal.
See those lights out there? That's a big container ship that we've been watching, making sure we're not in collision with them. We've been watching them for about an hour and getting a little closer. Canadian flag. Anyways, signing off for now. See you later.
Well, it's a beautiful morning here after spending the night dodging container ships and cruise ships through a major shipping lane between Grand Bahama and Bimini. To the distance, you can just make out Bimini there. And now we're heading across the Gulf Stream to our final destination before sunset, Miami.
Hey everybody, that's Eddie waking up. Oh, he's got crunchy stuff in his eyes.
Captain Zippy Box.
There's Linford, our man at the wheel.
We got the dolphin on our bow.
Right ahead of us, there he is. Let's see. Come on up, honey.
Hard to see in this reflection.
There you go, right there. Yep. There she goes. Come on over. There we go. Did you get it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing the video. Oh, another one.
Two of them. I'll let him go.
Oh, they love riding the bow wake. Oh, it's a big one. Staying high. Oh yeah.
They are so much fun. It's like having cats to play. Look, come up, come up. Look, was that you? They're following them. Look how fast they're moving, eh?
Oh, they're just going way faster.
It's right under us now.
No, that's a father, mother, and a baby.
Yeah.
Those of you over 50 will remember Flipper the dolphin.
Wow.
We saw his granddaughter on his father's side swimming along the boat.
Yeah.
Two of them, right?
Yeah, they're very cool.
Met up with, they're actually three. I think it was father, mother, and a baby. It's been beautiful weather. I have a little sunshade here. It's so sunny. The weather's been great. About 10 knots of wind, not real sailing weather, but calm seas. Just motor sailing along. And we're almost in Miami. We've got about 3-4 more hours to go. We'll be in Miami around sunset.
Just met the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, we just met the Miami Dolphins. They came out to greet us. Having a great sail.
So here you can see our course plotted in the top right-hand corner from Grand Bahama across that shipping channel. Made a turn just offshore of Bimini and across the Gulf Stream. We pre-calculated our course, taking speed, time, distance, and the Gulf Stream into account, and took us on a pretty accurate course right into Government Cut. Once we got close, we could see cruise ships coming out of the port. Then we made it in through the cut. It's a major commercial shipping area, and then eventually through some winding corridors, through some condos and that, we made it to Coconut Grove. That is our mooring right there. From Coconut Grove, looking back, you can see in the sunset little parts of Miami. We made it to our mooring right at sunset. Then we just the next day did some relaxing, went to a local Miami hotel there and just chilled, took it easy, caught up on some email, and had some good times with our crew. That evening we went out for a fabulous dinner on the town. It was just a great delivery.
Unreal.
And the Fiesta Resistance for Eddie. Look at that. My goodness. Wow.
That's what you
How
wanted,
did I
Eddie.
get one to look like that? Mine is not sure.
There you go. Fiesta Resistance.
I want that one. Look at the tail. Look at the tail.
I know. You didn't listen to me.
Mine
You
is
didn't listen to
sad.
me. You didn't
Mine
listen
looks
to me.
black.
I don't have to.
If you take Captain Ed's advice, you too can enjoy a fabulous meal like this.
It goes from bad to worse. What's that?
He says, oh, he's filming all that for Facebook.
Well, you never know when you have a Kodak moment.
Right about now.
Yeah, correct.
This ends our adventure actually right here. We made it all the way to Miami with no instruments safely, but I can't say we're going to make it to the dinghy dock safely. I'm getting towed in this deflated dinghy by a canoe, getting towed by a canoe in choppy waters. Linford is freaking out. Yeah, there we go.